Morning, everybody. It is the 3rd of February, I believe, 2024. Hope you're well. It's in the 30s right now, but the sun is shining, so that helps a lot. It's supposed to warm up into the 40s. I will finish the exhaust system today, and you can see the alternator down by my feet. That tested positive or tested fine yesterday, so I'm going to put it back in the car and continue troubleshooting. I have the wiring diagram, and it's actually pretty simple. There can't be that many points of failure, so I'm going to continue troubleshooting that as well to figure out what's up with that. I'm also going to adjust the choke on the carburetor so it's richer or tighter with the spring. Maybe I just don't have it adjusted enough to close the choke plate easily. I'm not sure about that yet, and we'll see how the day goes. Oh, I also got some more goodies yesterday. I'll show you that real quick. Have a brand new sending unit. Got that on eBay. I think it was $80 or $85. Not too bad for a sending unit for this car. Came with a new locking ring too, which I wasn't expecting, and a gasket, of course. And then a new gas cap. I also bought a specialty pair of pliers or spark plug boot pullers. I used to have a pair many years ago and lost them, so now I have a new pair that I just bought. So anyway, looking forward to hearing this baby run with a new exhaust today sometime. Just finished with the reinstallation of the alternator. It's a lot more work when everything is in the engine compartment, like the radiator, the fan, the shroud, the upper radiator hose. Made it a lot more challenging, but I got it done. I'll do more on the electrical system later. Right now, I'm going to jump back to the exhaust. So I'm in my shed right now. On the passenger side, this little nub here, this mounting bracket, or whatever you want to call it, is actually hitting against the fender well on the back side of it. I decided not to tear the whole thing out again, just to try and cut that off. But this one, since I haven't installed it yet, I'm going to use my grinder, my cutting wheel here to at least chop off as much of it as I can without damaging the muffler itself. That should give me enough clearance so it won't be hitting on the driver's side. And then I have this other connecting pipe mounted in my vise. I'm going to cut it off right here, the same spot I cut the other one off, and I checked the length of the new flex hose I have. It's the same length as the other one. So this should fit just like it did on the other side. So I'm getting ready to do that right now. All right, after I cut off that piece, this is what it looks like. And that is just about even with the edge of the muffler. So it should keep it from hitting the back of the car. I mean, I could take it to my bench grinder, grind it down some more, but probably won't do that. That little metal piece is hot. I just stepped on it. That's what I just cut off. And this is what this looks like now. I'll take that to the grinder and even it out. Now the left side muffler is supported by a jack stand temporarily. You can see how it's going to mount on the end, just like on the other side, along with a couple more clamps when I'm done. So here's the gap. This is what this looks like now. Doesn't have to be perfectly smooth at the end because this sleeve is going to fit right over the top of it, like so. Go all the way in. And then this flex coupling will go on top of that. Yesterday, the way it worked is it completely hid the fitting that goes inside, which is fine. It helped me to avoid having to use multiple clamps. I just use one because this slides. Oops, would help if I pointed the camera that way. This slides all the way down, and then you don't even see that adapter, which is fine. It's actually a connector, but it works. So that's my next step, to connect all that up. Well, today is going to be one of those days of challenges. So this is the original flex pipe that worked on the right side of the car, made by Nicholson. This is the one I picked up yesterday, made by Sure-Bilt at AutoZone, Advanced Auto. Had the same part number, 17034 on both of them. Should have worked, but they don't. This flex hose will not fit around this, and I won't fit around this, and I'm not about to try and force it. So I'm left with having to ride around to different Advanced Auto parts, see if I can find someone that's got one of these in stock. You can't trust their computer systems because half the time they have something and don't know it, or they think they have something and they don't have it. So I have to spend some time running around again to try to find another flex pipe. I can't move any further until I have that. So I'll pick up later. Back from the stores, I returned the other flex pipe from AutoZone. And then I went across the street to Advanced Auto Parts. They said they didn't have one in their computer system, but there was one on the shelf, so I'm glad I went. I should have just gone there yesterday. This one had been returned, obviously, and there was no clamp inside the box, so they gave me a new clamp on the side anyway. But so I should be able to continue on. So if my theory is correct, this should fit just fine without much trouble, and it does, just like it's supposed to. So that other flex hose I had, even though it claimed to be a 2 and an eighth, it wasn't. I don't know what the deal was with that, but anyway. So now I'm going to move on. All right, at long last, I am done with the exhaust system. Of course, I still have to test it by starting the engine and checking for leaks. I don't expect to find any. Doesn't mean I won't, but I'm pretty confident things will work. So you can see the resonators here. Everything's installed. I just finished tightening that last clamp right there in the middle. And here both sides are set up identically. Left and right and left, depending on your perspective. So everything is new. I got a total of 3, 4, 5, 10, 11 clamps. Is that right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 11 clamps holding all this together, plus the flange joints for those. So there's a lot of different pieces here that I had to put together. Somebody with welding skills probably could have reduced all this to maybe 2 clamps in the very back here. And only that, it's just to get them on the hangers there. So anyway, I'm pretty excited. Finally got that done. And it all fits pretty well. Pretty close to original design, other than the flex pipe there, but it should work. So we'll see what it sounds like later. Right now I'm going to do a little more troubleshooting on the electrical system, now that I've got the alternator back installed, see if I can figure something out there. And I got to hook up my fuel source again. Soon, though. All right, I'm getting ready to start the engine. Got my fuel source back in, and I've used hardly any gas at all, even as long as I had already run this engine before, which is gratifying, so I don't have to worry about that. A couple of minor things. I did find when I was over here at the voltage regulator trying to figure out the charging problem, I discovered that this white wire on top might not have been plugged in. It was loose in the holder. When I pulled the holder off, it didn't look like it was even plugged in. So it is plugged in now. So maybe it's as simple as that for the charging system. We're going to find out. I also adjusted the choke, made it richer, and that definitely increased the spring tension to hold the plate shut. So maybe I just didn't have it adjusted correctly before. So we'll see how it does when I start it. And also I did find that that hose clamp right there was in fact loose, so I tightened that up to stop that water leak from the back of the engine. So I've been charging the battery with my charger, so it's fully charged. And I've got my, oh, I must not be getting a good connection because it's, let me find a better connection here. Maybe my ground is just not good. Let's see here. I need to find a good ground. Oh, that's not good either. Maybe I need to get a whole new setup here. I don't know. Oh, that's no good. All right. Hopefully this won't take too long. Huh. All right. Let me find a better setup for this voltmeter. Maybe this thing is worn out and I need to get a new one, but I've got it sitting at 12 volts now. I just connected directly to the battery. Okay, so I'm going to get in the car now and we're going to start this baby up. I did check the wiring under the dash too. A couple of notes from inside there. The map light that's part of that lower dash panel burned out, and I couldn't figure out why, because this was a brand new light bulb, just a few months ago, but it burned out. So I don't know if that's just because I was banging this thing around while it was lit. Maybe that burned the filament. I don't know. I don't think that's an indicator of some electrical issue, but that's why this is hanging down. I made sure these connectors were all the way connected, so everything should be okay there. So actually, I think I'm going to hook that back up with a couple of screws before I try and start it. Just a second. All right, sitting in the car with the lower dash panel reattached. I did some other checking too. Rechecked all the signal lights, the brake lights, the reverse lights, all that stuff's working. The neutral safety switch must be working because it starts in park and everything. So, all right, she's been sitting probably, at least a week, maybe longer since the last time she ran. So let's see how she starts, and more importantly, how she sounds. I'm going to take out my earbuds so you have a better sound experience, but I got to find my case first. There it is. That reminds me, I lost one of my AirPods this morning, but help me find it. Just a second when I take these off. Okay, so here we go. Give the gas pedal a couple of pumps here. See what happens. Get all the lights spinning in. All right. Come on, baby. There she goes. She's trying. There we go. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how quiet it is. Can you hear it? Well, that's the point. You shouldn't really hear much of anything. Okay, let that run. Go check the exhaust here. Choke plate's opening up like it should. Don't die on me, baby. Uh-oh. Don't die on me. Let's go back here. It sounds awfully quiet. Oh my gosh. See if I can feel anything. Alright, you can hear the sound of the exhaust back here. It'll sound better, I think, once it warms up a little bit. But she's quiet. Listen to how quiet. Isn't this awesome? I don't think I hear any leaks, but I'm not certain. I almost think there's a leak somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't see anything. I guess I should take my gloves off. Maybe I can feel better. Hold on. Alright, let's see here. Feel anything? I think I might. Yeah, I feel something right here. One of the places that I did not expect to see a leak, at the flange itself. Isn't that amazing? The one place that I thought for sure would not leak is leaking. That's the last place I expected to see a leak. I wonder if any other flanges are leaking. I think that one's leaking. Oh, no, that's from the muffler. Okay. I think that's normal. I don't know. I'm not sure I should see anything coming from the muffler like that, but that's definitely leaking right there. I think that's going to take a second gasket to plug that up. But overall, very, very quiet. Oh, it's leaking on this side too. Oh. Unless that's actually leaking at the joint itself, and I just need to tighten that clamp more. That's possible. Maybe this didn't work as well as I thought it would. I hoped it would. Yeah, I think I need to tighten all these clamps tighter than I already have them. I suspect that's where the leak actually is. It may not be the clamp itself. So, it's not a perfect system, that's for sure. Alright. But wow, is it so much quieter. Love it. Real exhaust coming out the back. This flange though is definitely leaking on this side. It's not the not where the flex pipe's connecting. I can feel it puffing right here. That's amazing. I never thought the flange itself would be leaking, and those bolts are tight too. All right, I'll just have to put a second gasket there. Huh. Yeah, that never I expected to see any leaks was at the flanges. I really thought those would be sealed tight. Huh. Overall though, not bad, not bad. Yeah, this one on this side, I think, is leaking at the flex pipe, I think. Yeah, so I'll tighten those clamps down some more, see what that does. And that other side, I'll have to get another flange gasket, put 2 on there, maybe down there at the bottom too. Alright, but overall though, not bad. Not bad for 0 welding and just a bunch of clamps. And it's quiet too, so those generic mufflers are doing their job. Let's see, the choke, still not open all the way. Maybe that's stuck there too tight. Overall though, it's running good. And still not charging either. Okay. So we still have a problem with the charging system. I didn't really expect that to be done. I do have another voltage regulator over there that I'm going to swap in and see if that might do the trick or not. Even though the one I have on there is brand new. Doesn't mean it's necessarily good, I suppose. Alright. I'm just mystified at the flange leaking, where it's leaking. That just blows me away. But I have seen muffler shops put 2 gaskets on there, so I guess it's not unprecedented. So I just have to get some more of those little puppies. Well, judging by the sound the exhaust is making, sounds like my timing might be off a bit, or my air mixture screws. But I'm not too worried about that kind of stuff right now. Alright, I'll end the recording for now. So once I got the regulator out, I discovered that one of these tabs was actually bent out of the way, which means it wasn't connecting at all. So that's probably the whole problem with my charging system. So I'm going to reuse this new regulator, plug it back in, make sure it's securely plugged in, and try again. Great news. She's charging at last. All it turned out was that there was a wire that was cockeyed in that plug over at the voltage regulator. All I had to do was fix that, get it plugged in, and now she's charging. I could tell right away when I turned the key into the on position, the alternator light immediately came on like it's supposed to. So I don't know why it's jumping around. I think that's my tester more than anything else, but she's charging. So that's a good thing. See how my windows operate now with a battery that's being charged while it's running. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Okay. All right. Good. So at last, gotta figure out what happened to my horns. I think something's disconnected under there. Only one sounding. But anyway. Um, okay. So that's great news. I now have a charging system. Yay! The engine will start on its own. Although like I said, I'm not real happy with this carburetor. Rebuilding it may not have been enough to save it. Not happy with the way the choke is working. Although I'm going to see if I can find the old thermostatic cover from the original choke. I don't know if I can substitute that. Now, maybe the spring, because the spring has that loop on it. So I don't know. I'll see if that's even possible to swap that out. Maybe that will help with the choke. But so that's good. Now that mystery is solved. All right, today was a good day. Finished with the exhaust. Just 1 or 2 very minor leaks to deal with. Much quieter to listen to. I'm really happy about that. I can sit here and listen to this all day. It's awesome. All right. Now that the electrical system thing is done, I believe the next thing I'm going to attack are the brakes. Because still going to be a while before I clean out the gas tank. All right. This is the old thermostatic spring from the old choke. And here's the new one. And what I was hoping is that I could just maybe put this one in place of that one. I don't know if that's really going to work or not, but I'd like to try it because this has that loop you see right there in the end, which I think works better because it opens and closes instead of just letting it open under, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but that only goes one way. So I'm hoping that this old one with the loop in the end on that shaft right there might work better. So I'm going to see if I can switch these out, maybe, and put this one on, see if it works. Unfortunately, this won't work. These springs are different enough. This one's a little bit thicker and not quite the same as this one. That one's thinner and whatnot, so I can't get it in the slot. So I'm not going to be able to try that after all. On to the next project on this car. I'm now working on getting access to the metering valve. I think it's the metering valve, the one that has the brake light switch in it. I'm not sure about that, but anyway, I took this cover off. Well into the job now. I had to remove the master cylinder, of course, in order to reach the metering valve or the distribution valve. I don't even know what the terminology is. One is there and one is there. I just sprayed the crap out of the threads here with PB Blaster. I'll let that soak for a little while. My biggest fear at this point is that one or more of those, is going to twist on me and ruin the line. I hope that doesn't happen, because that'll just make it so much worse. But I've got to get that sucker off so I can take a close look at it and see if it's plugged up, rusted up, no good, or what, or I can move on. I'm assuming the problem is this and not that, since I have such a hard brake pedal. It tells me it's not getting anything past this one valve, front or rear brakes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this one, well, I'm not sure exactly. Maybe that does go to both front and rear wheels. Maybe I got to take that off too. We'll see what this looks like when I get it off. Go from there. It happened again, folks. Sorry about that. I did not realize my voice was not being recorded on the final closeout clip here, but I just summarized what I had done for the day, which was to finish up with the exhaust system. I'm very pleased with how that went. There are a couple of minor leaks that I got to deal with, but that's not going to be a big deal. I'll just get some more clamps and some more gaskets and take care of that. I got the charging system working finally. That was just a bonehead error on my own part. When I put the new voltage regulator in, I wasn't careful about that plug and it bent one of the tabs. I didn't know that until I started to take it out and found it today, so I'm glad that's taken care of. And then I ended the day by starting work on the brakes. In particular, I had to remove the master cylinder, and I took the cover off of the all those relays that mount on the firewall so I could get access to the metering valve and the distribution valve. I sprayed everything down with PB Blaster, and I'm very concerned about rounding off any of those edges on those nuts or breaking a line. I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm gonna start fresh tomorrow on that, so I have more energy. So I'll leave the day on a high note. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a good day.